Well, good to have everybody in here. We're going to go ahead and get started, I guess. You got anything you want to say opening up? No.
Hey.
Live is still scary for us. We
Yeah.
actually don't do that much stuff that's live. When you edit, you get to cut out all the ums and ahs and anything that goes wrong with your toddler. So Hensley can come running out here. Who knows? I don't know. She'll probably come out here at some point, I'm sure. The gadgets we're going to talk about. Some of you guys might have seen some of these gadgets on our videos, and then some of these might be totally brand new gadgets. And then I also wanted, this is a chance for you guys too. If you've got gadgets, you want to share while we go along. And the cool thing too is, I know when we share gadgets, you can ask where we got it, or how much we use it, or what our favorite is. It's neat. It's nice to have the interaction because you guys can do that as we go along. And there's probably questions about our gadgets that I haven't thought of, or maybe things as we start off too. So,
Yeah.
I've got more guy gadgets probably than Marissa, or they're RV gadgets. I'll call them guy gadgets. But Marissa probably doesn't get excited about some of these. But these are things that we found really helpful for what we do on the road. But let's see, first one. I've shown this bad boy a few times. This is the Noco GB70, and my favorite kind of gadgets. Let's see, they're saying we sound good from Ron and Billy. So, all right. Hopefully we're good. My favorite gadgets are ones that can do multiple things. So this thing, I use the light on it sometimes. It has a really great light, has a great strobe light. It can, of course, jump off your vehicle, which is the main thing people think of when they see these. Some of these you can buy, and there's all kinds of different models and versions of this. Some of them can actually air your tires. I got this one because it was so small and compact, though. I liked that on it. And then you can also power, before we got our solar panels in Albuquerque, the Balloon Fiesta, stuff like that, I actually could power my laptop or recharge something in USB. And this is a very high quality company. This is a good product. Highly recommend it. We've used this a lot. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't dare show you guys something. We've used, all the stuff we're going to talk about is stuff we use on a very regular basis. And this gives you the, if you're single, the help out the chick factor at Walmart, which I have done 3 times, I think, at least.
Well, what's really nice is one time we were blocked in, so there's no way we could have got jumped off if it wasn't for this.
Yeah.
And that's actually happened a couple times. So that's what's nice about it, is you can be anywhere and you can be tied up against something. And it's
good. If you don't have some super long jumper cables, sometimes. One lady her car died, she had somebody surrounding her, so we couldn't even get to her with our car, but it didn't matter. I just came over, popped this on there, and 3 seconds later, she was good to go. So
very handy when you travel.
This, what did this run? It was either $100 or $200, somewhere in that range. It's more, something with the same amount of power is probably a third less, I would guess. But Noco is a really good company to work with, and the quality, and this is like half the size of other things too. Will it work on a diesel van, RV, Steve? Yes. This will jump off. We got this when we had our Class A, so it's supposed to even be able to jump off. I haven't tried it on the diesel van. I know it's supposed to jump off our V10. I'm 99% certain this is enough power to jump off a diesel vehicle as well. Because I'm pretty sure when I got it, I tried to make sure it could jump off anything we needed at the time. They have different models. I don't know if the next one down is like a GB70 or something, or GB50, but I want to say the GB70 and up, or somewhere around that range. It's 2,000 amps. I mean, it should be able to jump off a diesel. I'd be pretty surprised if it couldn't.
And we have a list of all our resources that we keep on our website.
Yeah.
So if you go to our website, it's letsjunkmorejourney.com/resources. Mm-hmm. We have links to all of everything we can think of that we use, and that, so because we get asked a lot where we found that or how much is it, and so we have a list of all that stuff if you guys want to check it out, or if you have questions about anything that we talk about.
Yeah, all the links are there, and we try to keep that up to date. We even, like, when we made the swap from the Class A to Paul Oakley, what are you doing, man? Finally working. Oh, finally got it working. I thought he meant he was at work or something, and so he finally made it to work, so I'm going to start. But yeah.
Paul's the reason Nathan's nose is broken.
Yeah. I played basketball with Paul back in the day, which isn't that long ago, and Paul's elbow, he didn't mean to. He was coming down with a rebound, and it caught my nose and broke my nose. It was one of those deals where everybody knew what happened when it happened instantly, because you could hear the snap, and it was, anyways, I'm not going to go into details. Good. It was bad, yeah. So, we're live. Moving on. Yeah, thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. This I've been showing this some. I got this the EEZ tire tire pressure monitoring system. Um, this, especially if you have a travel trailer, fifth wheel with the dinky little tires that scare me to death. This helps you keep an eye on those tires. This is an 8-tire monitoring system, so we can monitor the tires on our van and the trailer. Or if you had like a Class A, you can monitor 4 of the tires on the Class A, and then you could monitor, the 4 tires on the vehicle you're towing behind. Another bonus of this, well, 2 or 3 things that are pretty cool about this. One is like I used to have to, before we started, I would have to get out my tire pressure monitor, my manual or electronic one, and I would have to go around to each tire, check the pressure, before you leave. And then, we get going if everything's good. With this, all I have to do, I just flip this little button right here. And I'm not going to keep doing it because I don't know if we're in range or not. But it'll check all the tires. You give it about, 60, 120 seconds. It checks all the tires, and it'll let me know if something's low. The one downside is if you're in like a cold environment, which it's not really the system's fault, it'll say something's low when it's just like too cold outside. So I'll wait until I get going down the road and the tires warm up a little bit, and then I'll flip it on and it'll check it then. But for the most part, that's awesome. That saves me a lot of time doing that. And then also it'll tell you the temperature on each tire as well. Maybe somebody on here can tell me that knows more than me about this, but I think part of the features or what's cool about that, since it tells you the temperature on each tire, is especially if you're braking going down a steep grade, and if you watch your temperature before you start going down the grade, and then because I did this last time, and you're watching as you go down the grade, you'll see them starting to get hotter and hotter while you're braking. So you can kind of get an idea if something's just getting way too hot. I don't know how you know what the too hot temperature is for your tire, but if you saw one tire, for instance, getting way hotter than some of the other ones, you would probably know something's up. But it's neat to have all that. When I first put this up on the dash, it's just one more thing to look at, and it kind of freaks you out because you can see what's going on. I'm kind of waiting for it to start beeping or do an alert or something, but luckily it never. It's had pretty good. We haven't had to have it tell us that something's drastically wrong with the tire yet, but it's really awesome to know that.
I know a lot of people ask it about the metal stems, and so that
we don't have metal stems. I didn't ask them. I maybe could have. They haven't recommended me getting metal stems or anything like that, and I haven't heard of anybody having issues with having to replace the standard stems and the metal ones because they're wearing down. Because this does. If you haven't seen the little monitors are like these little round things that put like a tiny bit of weight on each tire, so it's like constantly spinning with the tire, and it's an extra weight on the stem. But it hadn't been an issue.
That's just been a question we've gotten with that.
Yeah, and there's different models of this too. They have like a four tire one, or you can get like a 4 and you can add on later, make it an 8 and all that. And this is one of those things when you're looking on Amazon. I'm cheap. Marissa knows I'm cheap. I try to go cheap when I can. When I was looking for one of these, there was tons of counter products out there that had like 20, 30 reviews, and they were like 5 stars because this one's maybe like 4, 4.5, something like that, but it has a lot more reviews. This company's legit. The other ones, if you start looking at the reviews, like they were all spelling tire Tyre. Like every review said Tyre. And I don't know, maybe you can spell tire Tyre in another country, but I don't think in the U.S. we spell it like that at all. So it kind of red flag that if you start looking at the reviews, I think a lot of people got some fake reviews going on with products. You got to watch out for that. Are the tire monitors flow through? Do you have to remove them? These aren't the flow through. I think they have a flow through version, Christopher. I'm almost positive they have a flow-through version if you want to. And what he's referring to is if I want to air up my tires, if they are low, with the system I've got to take each one of these monitors off and then air it up and put the monitor back on there. But they do make some that I think are flow-through where you could just air it up and it goes straight through. You don't have to remove the little gauge each time. So. And
we have a device we carry.
We do.
Air things up.
That's not one of the ones we're going to show, but we have. I guess I could get it out maybe here in a minute. But, I've shown it before. I bought it to air up my RV tires, so it's actually got way more pressure than we need for these tires.
It's been handy.
Yeah, it's good. You got to have, whether or not I show that one specifically, but you do need something to air up your tires because you're constantly, tires are a big deal in an RV. The bottom of the RV and the top of the RV. Keep a close eye on the roof and keep a close eye on the tires. Because you do not want your tires going. It's not so much, oh goodness, I lost a tire. It's like, oh goodness, I lost a tire, and is it going to make me swerve out of control? Is it going to bust and like cause all kinds of damage to the RV, which we've seen a lot. Even brand new ones from the factory. Some of the tires are junk. Let's see. I've got GM tire monitors on my tow vehicle. Will it read those in the trailer? In addition, I don't know. I'm gonna guess. Carl, that it would not work in conjunction with the GM tire monitor. I'm thinking you would have to. I don't think it would work with the GM one. I think you'd have to buy their specific monitors that are made to go with this. And so you'd probably have to buy, if you want to read your vehicle and the trailer, you'd have to get an eight monitor system or whatever. What brand? It was an EEZ tire is what I got. And there's some other ones that are decent too, but this company's been around a while, and it's I think it's like a family based. I don't think it's like if you try to contact them or ask questions. It's nice. It's really annoying when you try to contact a company and you can tell they've got like 3 middlemen before you get to somebody who knows what they're talking about. Because I've asked them some questions and they seem to be a pretty good company to work with. But I like it. I've liked it a lot. I've had and the battery life on this is great. I can go for I don't know. I've only charged it twice since I've had it, so I mean, like you can go like a whole month almost. It depends on how often it's on. But use a gimbal for your recording. Paul, that's off. Typically not. Of course, the drone has a gimbal. I did test a gimbal in one video. The Pet Sanctuary one.
Yeah, Best Friends.
Best Friends. I ordered a gimbal for that one and tested it, but it was too bulky. It was too hard for us to use it because we're always moving around.
It was big. It was heavy.
Yeah.
It did a good job though. But.
Yeah, the gimbals are nice, but if you do a lot of video recording, it's tough, the style of recording we do moving around. It's all right, Paul. It just caught me off guard. I was like, gimbal. I was like, nah, I was making sure it wouldn't. Surge protector. I've talked about this. And I haven't done a ton of research on other ones that are out there. This is the 44270. It had decent reviews. It's done what it needs to do. Let's see. Yeah, I'm wondering. So they do have flow-through sensors. 1 or 12. Yes. Okay. Yes. So that's all good info there. So a lot of this stuff is preventative maintenance because when something goes wrong in an RV, if you have a tire go bad or a water leak or an electrical problem, it's like magnified. It's not like a house where it's, you're not in your house and you call somebody up and they come and they repair it. It's a pain when you're on the road. So these preventative maintenance things are very important. And this, twice this is caught where we've had reverse polarity on something. And I don't know too much about reverse polarity. I don't know if that would eventually damage your RV or not, but it's caught that. And so we told the campground managers and they came out and they swapped it back. I'm not an electrician. I can't remember what that means when it's reverse polarity. Somebody here may know. I want to say it's something to do with the ground and something swapped in it when they wired it up. So you can still get power, but the polarity on it isn't exactly right. And you don't want something in your RV getting fried. So this has caught that a couple of times. And so I always use this. I just plug it in wherever I go. And then something too you'll want, which most RVs will have, you want your different adapters for different, this is a 50 to 30. So if we're at a 30 amp, I can still use my surge protector and run it through a 30 if I have to, because this is made for a 50 on it. Because our Airstream actually is a 50. Most of them are 30s. So you have to have an adapter. We have a 120 adapter too if we're connected to somebody at a 120 outlet, like is dangerous to you and your family. How does Carl? What is that? So like it could start electrical fire, or what is it? Like what would it do danger wise on reverse polarity? Or maybe you're plugging something in.
We just know it wasn't good.
We know it's not good. We know if it has light indicators, so we know if there's red lights on the surge protector, not good. I'll give him a second. He may be typing up a pretty long answer.
So it's dangerous to you and your family, but not the RV.
Something else too, it's like preventative maintenance. I don't have it because it's on the hose. Actually, I have it somewhere, but it's just a water pressure regulator is good too, because again, if too much pressure with water, some places have a really high pressure water when you hook up, and when you turn that thing on, it'll come in and we've seen and heard of it doing that. It'll just start busting things all over the RV. It's way easier just to put that regulator on there. I heard, numerous people have told me, and my Airstream manual said this, that Airstream has a regulator built into it, but I still use a secondary regulator just in case. It makes the RV electricity hot, and the ground goes to the hot wires in your RV. Okay. She's watching. So what if RV electrically hot? So you're saying, so for instance, if I plug something in and it's got the reverse polarity, are you saying there's a higher likelihood that it can make the wires too hot, and that could start a fire or that kind of thing because it's actually got too much heat going through whatever I plug in, I guess, as well. Is that kind of what you're saying, Carl?
Bugs.
Yeah, the bugs too. I'll wait a minute for Carl, but while we're waiting, let's see. Okay, this one's cheap, but we have used this a ton. If you have any sort of electrical devices, we use it on our GoPro. We use it on the drone to charge it or to connect it to our computer. We use it for, it has an iPhone connector, but you've got 3 different cords on it. There's different brands. This one's called, I don't know if they just run out of brand names or what, Dodo Cool or something like that. And what it does, you've got your main adapter that's micro HDMI, I believe, or is it mini? I don't know which one. Micro maybe? I don't know. But it's, hey Mark, Mark's coming in. Touching the skin of the RV while standing on the ground can make you, oh, that's not good. Okay, Carl got back to us. So you don't want reverse polarity. We have heard of that. Marissa mentioned that to me about a little boy getting electrocuted with an RV, and they may have had reverse polarity going on when that happened.
That might have been.
And that's when she was
seen
asking me
about it.
We read stuff, or you see RVs flipped over, or bad things happening to RVs, and a lot of the times it's something like that going on. But yeah, if they had the reverse polarity going on, like Carl's talking about, and especially on like an Airstream or something like that, it might be especially bad.
Well, that's scary because if we wouldn't have had that, we wouldn't have known.
Yeah, and I can't remember what I paid for this. It might have been like it's between $50 to $100, but that's well worth $50 to $100 to make sure that you or your kid is not a conductor.
Because it just takes one time. I mean, really, it would take one time of there to be a mix-up, and that would be fatal.
But this, especially in rain and wet weather, you guys are getting more and more. That kind of stuff's scary for me to think about because every time I think about something like that being dangerous, like the first thing I think about is my kid. Like I'm not even thinking about me touching it and getting shocked or hurt or killed. I mean, I'm thinking about my kid, so that's just, I don't even like it. That's tough to think about.
Yeah.
You would never want that to happen. But yeah, this very, very many uses for this. We use this every single day. We have 2 of these. I want to make sure to show that because this is like a $10, $12 product that if you connect multiple things that have multiple connectors, like say your wife's got an Android and you've got an iPhone device or whatever's going on, we keep one in the van and one in the RV. They're all used almost all day long with something different with all the different connections going on with them.
Mark actually had experience with the reverse polarity.
Oh, goodness. Oh, man. Oh, man. So, get your surge protector. Wow. So, did you want to mention, we also, every single RV we've had, we've gotten a memory foam mattress. We've replaced the mattress. This Airstream had what's the one that has the multiple levels with the air and all that?
The Airstream didn't have it, the motorhome.
Oh, the motorhome had that.
Yeah,
okay.
I had like the, turn it up. Okay, I'll be back.
Our daughter figured out how to turn up Blippi. I don't know if you guys ever watched Blippi. But every RV we've had, we have replaced the mattress with a foam mattress. Now there's 2 different options that we've used. I guess that's all we can really recommend on as far as the foam mattress. With a couple of RVs, we bought one off of Amazon. It was around $200, I think, ish, which is pretty cool. You wouldn't think of buying a mattress on Amazon, but it just came in a kind of big box. The UPS guy was not usually happy with me having to carry it to the door, but a kind of big box, and you open it, and it just expands right before your eyes. So you can get a mattress that way, or the last time we partnered with Bedmasters, right?
Bedmasters, and they actually can custom make, so you can tell them what kind of like firmness you want, and we actually pointed them in the direction of the one off Amazon that we had liked, and they could custom cut it too, which was a big deal.
Yeah. What'd you mess up, Hensley?
I'll get
it. We did that for our Airstream. I mean, maybe we could have ordered one on Amazon and tried to cut corners on the Airstream physically, but it's not like just a foam mattress. It's got layers, and it's got like an outer cloth fabric layer we'd have to cut through and stuff. And so we really wanted to go with something custom cut that had the corners, because especially in our bedroom, like when you have the corners going all the way out, which is something you'll never have your foot on or need. When something goes all the way out like that, then it's just extra space. We want to have all the room we can have on our Airstream.
And a mattress is a big deal. Like, it is. RV mattresses are not the most comfortable.
Mark was saying that too.
So, I mean, it can be, that's something you're using every day. That's a...
How you doing? No, we saw where we were pretty sure it went into Arches, but we haven't actually followed it. It doesn't? Oh, the gates. Oh.
Oh.
Water right there where I'm lazy. Somebody says, yeah, there's cows there. I'll get my horse.
Oh, no, we had...
You haven't been down there.
Uh-uh.
Okay, I'll go take a look.
All
All right,
thank you.
Thank you.
You said there's a gate separating it?
I think so.
Okay.
We've wondered that.
Yeah, we can see Arches National Park from where we edit Steve. Somebody pulled up asking us if his cows. We seen his cows. Is that what he's wondering? If we've been down there?
Yeah.
So we haven't seen any cows, but we can see Arches National Park from where we're at, and there's like a road that goes right by our camper. It's like a back side road, and you can take that road and go into Arches. But apparently there is a gate.
We've wondered that.
We haven't taken it because we also heard it was like full of sand. You needed 4-wheel drive and all that kind of stuff, which we don't have. So we did not venture down there. But we see lots of people with UTVs and ATVs coming through here.
I hope he finds his cows.
I hope so too.
And get a good mattress. That was the what we were trying to say, right?
Yes.
Because you're using it every day, so getting good sleep. It's so worth it just to put a little bit into a good mattress. Kind of like in your house. You would definitely want that in your RV as well.
Well, the cool thing about when you downsize to an RV and the way we started thinking. Did she turn that up again?
Yes.
You guys just let us know if Bloopy's too loud.
Yeah.
We can hear that she keeps cranking it. The cool thing about when you go from a large space to a small space is you can kind of start being pickier, I guess, about like what you buy and what you get, and you can try to get higher quality stuff. Whereas if you have a house, you have so many rooms and so many things that you've got to furnish that you can't maybe get nicer stuff. So what we do buy in this, we try to make sure we really like what it is. You're gonna have.
But he's asking RV Steve saying so is select number phone is better. I think that comes down to personal preference.
Yeah.
Like, you slept on a sleep number for a long time, and then when we got married, I was like, I don't like the sleep number. I like memory foam, so I think it just depends on.
She wanted the memory foam. I wanted the sleep number, so we compromised and got the memory foam.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you like the memory foam.
I do now. So
Yeah. It's like, she is the star. She is, and she knows it. She knows she rules the roost.
Okay, Marissa's gonna try it again. All right, let's see. 2 herniated discs. Oh goodness, Marissa has a herniated disc too, and but she's liked the foam mattress. It's been good for that. So I don't know if I can speak for which one's better, but I just go with what the boss says on that stuff. Something else you guys may have seen me wearing, something we've used a lot, I've used a lot, is this Bluetooth headset. I tried out maybe 10 different headsets, I think. I ended up with this one. It's a Plantronics. Oh, goodness, if I can't give the model, that'll be bad. I'm pretty sure this is on our resources page, the exact model on this thing. All right, why I like this, if you're in an RV, you're driving a lot. And so, but I also need the flexibility of hearing things, hearing if something, I don't want to get something that's just, in both ears where I can't hear anything if something's going wrong with the trailer behind me or the van. I like to hear what's around me. So this gives me an open ear where I can still hear what's going on. I can answer phone calls by pushing a button if I need to. And probably the main reason I went with this one over some of the other ones was a lot of your Bluetooth headsets, like the speaker is junk. Like when you're in an RV, especially our motorhome, it was really loud. And so I couldn't ever hear I listen to a lot of podcasts mainly when I'm going down the road, or audiobooks, that kind of thing. I couldn't hear anything through it. And so maybe I'm just getting old. I don't know. It could be that too. But I tried this one out, and it's had a very good speaker compared to some of the other ones. And so this has probably been my favorite that I've tried out of about 10 headsets. for art. Yes, yeah. Do you want to talk about that
Okay,
too?
that
Yeah.
that's
Chris, we'll
our,
go back to the beds. Chris was asking about the sheet sack things.
so that's Betty's.
Um,
And we've really liked it.
I've been surprised. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure how I'd feel. It's kind of like a giant sleeping bag for adults
It-
in a well, kids use sleeping bags too. But anyways, it's a giant sleeping bag for your bed, which sounds really weird.
Well, it's easy to make your bed because you just zip it up,
Mhm.
and then I love a down comforter because so I was a little worried that I would miss the down comforter, but to be honest, I really like the Betty's. It's got like a minky.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's, they know we're from Tennessee, I guess. They're asking if it's hot enough.
It's got like a minky material on the inside, so it's super soft and it keeps us warm,
Mhm.
but then it also doesn't keep us too warm when it's hot, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like, it's really good with the temperature. I mean, if it gets super cold, like in the 20s, 30s, I've put an extra blanket on top of us if we're boondocking and we don't have any heat. But other than that, I mean, we've used it in hot and cold, and Hensley has it on her bed, and it's been good.
Yeah, and it's not 20s, 30s in the RV, to clarify. We have our propane heat. It's
Again, Nathan's cheap.
but I'm cheap, so when
and-
it's 20 something degrees outside, I mean, I'll heat it up to about 50, and we just bundle up. So I'm not going to keep it at 72 the entire time.
Yeah, I think it breathes well.
Yeah,
I think
I think so.
I think it does good, and what is it?
We have a queen. We have a queen bed
And
with a
they do
Betty. They may just be
king.
out of stock or something like that, Carl. Or you may have to go through the company themselves. But we've got a queen on it.
And they actually gave us a 20% off coupon code. So if any of you guys are interested in it on a resources page,
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
no, what happened?
Come here.
You want to say hi? Oh,
She messed it
What'd you
up.
mess up? What happened?
I'll fix it.
You want to fix it? The only downside, the only downside I can think of with the Bettys, possibly, would be that it is a little more difficult to wash. And Marissa can probably give more details on this, but like usually a blanket or sheets or whatever, you can just pull them. This one you've got to totally unzip it, and so it's a couple of thick layers. So I think it's a little bit trickier to maybe to wash than some of the other stuff, but. Yeah, I hate it. That's the first time you got to see Hensley was her being like that, but maybe she'll cheer up here in a minute. All right, let's see. I've shown this, but I actually pulled it off the shower to be able to show it. Love this. Love the direct stream it gives when you got to do military showers, all that kind of thing, boondocking especially. It's better than, to me, it's better and it works better than maybe like a really wide shower head. I think a wide shower head that conserves water would be great probably when you have full hookups, but this works really well to not only save water, but the pressure on it's pretty good too. And then this is the add-on though that we added that has been a difference maker for us. It comes with this cheap little plastic one, and we kept knocking the shower piece off and it would break the plastic piece. We did it twice, and so I said that's enough of that. So I bought this one that's I don't know what it's made out of actually. I've talked about it before. Do you know what it's made of? It could be copper. It's not the color copper. But it's a much harder metal material than the original plastic one. And the coolest thing about it is when you're boondocking, this is a big deal. You can regulate the flow with this button right here. If you want it, off or just halfway or whatever. And you can't, the one that comes with this, you can't regulate it. You can only turn it off and on.
And that's been helpful too because you waste a lot of water when your shower's heating up. So I've been turning it all the way down and letting it just kind of trickle.
Mhm.
And then it gets hot and then I can turn it on. So it's not like wasting all that water, especially when we're boondocking.
Yeah, it's been very helpful.
Water's precious.
Water, when you get like where we're at now, dry camping, like water is the biggest, or boondocking, water's the biggest deal. We have to go and find water and refill and be conservative with it. And so that's an important resource to have. In some places you go, like we're going to Dead Horse Point State Park. They don't even have water in there. And so you've got to fill up before you go in. And you would think a state park would have one spigot, but they don't.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to actually like use trucks and bring in water with trucks up there to use water. Mark's asking about the solar. I can talk about that next as a gadget, I guess, if you guys are curious about it. It's working pretty well. We have 4 100 amp hour batteries, and then we only have 2 100 amp 100 watt solar panels. And so, yeah, thank you, Christopher.
Yeah.
We try to be honest. We hope that we don't. We definitely don't want to be one of those channels that like is like showing all kinds of stuff, left and right, and you can tell they're just like getting free stuff and showing. We turn down a lot of people that want us to show stuff. We only most everything, 95% of everything we've ever bought or shown is stuff that we bought from our own wallet.
Mm-hmm.
And then the stuff we haven't is stuff that we 100% believe in. We've talked to them or we've previously owned it, and everything too. So
yeah, it's stuff we would have gotten anyway, kind of thing, and we wanted it and we liked it.
Yeah, Carl was asking on the shower head. I know we're hopping around a little bit, but it takes it longer than 2 seconds. It's maybe like 5 seconds, maybe. It's not crazy long.
Oh, for the water.
Yeah, and it really shouldn't, because the water heater is like 2 feet from the shower. So it's 4 feet tops. I mean, it's a 31-foot RV, so I mean, it's not far from the shower at all. And so I don't know why it takes it 5 seconds or so for it to heat up, but
We've talked about getting a tankless endless. If we know like the Airstream will be a keep for a while, which I know you guys are probably thinking, what? Just saying, you never know with us. But if we were going to keep the Airstream a long time, we would invest in one.
I think some upgrades you do your RV, you'll get your money back, but then some of them you may or may not, and that's why we've kind of waited on the water heater she's talking about. They make water heaters that will heat up water as you need it through the propane. And that's a bad thing too, is when you're boondocking with the water heater we have now, it's constantly kicking on to keep that water heater, the water hot. I mean, we don't need hot water at 2 a.m.
We heard it going, and we're
I'm
like,
what a waste of our propane. So I mean, I know you could probably buy something that maybe turns it off and on to help save propane, but we haven't really messed with that. Mark, with the tankless, yeah, I think so. I think with the tankless we would actually use more water. We would use less propane. It would save on propane, but we would use more water. So boondocking wise, that's true. That's a very good point that Mark's pointing out, because we had a tankless in our first trailer, had one actually, and I think that is true. You had to run the water longer before the tankless water heater would kick in enough to get that water. But it's pretty cool. If you don't boondock a lot, you're not conserving water. Turn the switch off. Yeah,
it's nice to have.
We probably could turn the switch off. We just have to think about it before we take the next shower and turn it on 15, 20 minutes before. But I don't know if you have a wife, if she hops in and thinks there's hot water.
There is nothing worse than getting into the shower and then you're ready and it's freezing cold, and I'm like, Nathan, why is the water cold?
Steve, I've thought about it, and I actually did it a little bit for a while, but then I kept forgetting to flip it back on, and I felt the fury. My wife let me know that she did not like that the water wasn't hot and ready, so I figured I'm cheap, but so it kills me to hear the propane heater kicking on when I don't want it, but I'd rather have that happen.
Hey, you never know at 2 a.m. when you need a shower.
You never know.
It needs to be ready at all times.
Yes, yeah. I think if you that is a good way to save propane, if you can remember to turn the water heater off and on, especially when maybe you go to bed at night, you turn it off, and we don't need hot water for the most part until like the next night for showers or something like that. So let's see, cleaning stuff. Let's finish the solar thought, and then we'll hop to cleaning stuff, Christopher, after that. Let's see. Yeah, the solar, we were talking, I've got the 4 100 amp batteries, and then I've got 2 100 watt panels. Our problem is we don't have enough solar panels to keep charging the batteries like they need to. So during the day, we got pretty good sun here in Moab. We can run all of our electronics pretty well with the battery power we have and the 2 solar panels, but we can't run anything with any more power than maybe just like our laptops and stuff like that. So if we wanted to get to the point, maybe even like the Instant Pot or something like that, I'm hoping. I haven't looked into it. I know it's 1,000 watts, so that may take some pretty serious solar during the day.
That would be huge in our boondocking, if I could do that.
But so we'll see. We're hoping to get. I'm hoping we go back to our hometown. I've got somebody lined up to hopefully get more solar put on, maybe like 2 to 4 more panels, something like that. So I think that would really help to have more solar panels on it. But it's been working great. I mean, when we're in a shady spot, it doesn't work that great, obviously. Or if it's a cloudy day, it has a hard time. We don't even have enough to keep up with our electronics, and I have to kick the generator on after probably a couple of days. The batteries can't keep up, and I've got to kick the generator on. So generator's another gadget I won't get into too much, but it's a great thing to have if you plan on doing boondocking, even if you have solar, because you never know the weather conditions. They can have a huge impact on, the solar stuff. So Christopher talked about cleaning products. We can talk about some.
Yeah, you want me to
go grab
what I use?
Yeah, we got a small RV, so we keep it pretty simple, and we've actually never thought it'd probably be a pretty good video to do. We've talked about doing an organization video and showing where we store things and what we do with it. But probably need to talk about the cleaning stuff too. Do you want to get that Swiffer?
Yeah. This is a Thieves household cleaner. And what I love about this is it's an essential oil. Thieves is an essential oil, and it kills germs. And it kills germs awesome. Like, I've seen this compared to Clorox bleach, and this does better than Clorox bleach. And the good thing about it is, I mean, obviously, it's not going to hurt you. Like, if Hensley drank this whole bottle, it wouldn't even hurt her. So that's great to have. And I only use a capful of this, and I put it in this glass spray bottle. And this is what I clean everything with. I clean counters, toilets, windows. I even spray it on the bottom of my Swiffer, and I use it and I clean my floors. So, like, this is all my cleaning supplies right here, and that's what I love about it. I mean, so that's pretty much what I use, and it's been good. I like it.
And that's back to the whole, when you're in a house, like, it's so huge and so much stuff. Oh, sorry.
I don't have the lid on.
Sorry.
Again, it's okay. It just smells it's like a cinnamon kind of.
Smells good.
Well, it smells like thieves.
You know, if you're in a house and you got tons and tons of stuff to clean, or if you got lots of different ways you need to be cleaning, something like that may not work. But we got such a small space, and just using a capful, I mean, she can clean a ton of stuff with it, because that's probably that's probably not cheap for that.
It's not cheap for this. I know $20 to $30.
How many times have I said the word cheap this week?
Yeah. Which I use Young Living is what I use, but I mean, probably $20 to $30. I can't remember. This is the only bottle I've ever had. Like, it's barely anything's out of it, and I've had it for like 7 months.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah. Maybe I don't clean enough.
that could. I wasn't gonna say it, but
no. I mean, the rest of this is water. It's one capful of water.
I have to go potty.
Okay, it's potty time. I'll be back.
You don't see this in our real live videos, but she has to go to the potty 4 times during our last little 5-minute segment when we try to talk at the end of the videos. Hey, Trent, Siobhan, by the way, too. I didn't get to say hi. Glad you guys got to hop in. Did you have specific questions about the solar? I know you guys mentioned solar on that. We kind of gave an overview, I guess, of it. And I'm not a pro with solar either. Oh, yeah. I do know, do not use bleach. And you probably know that, Carl. I know, because it sounds like that's the way you're wording the question on cleaning the dark stains from the toilet. We know somebody that used bleach, and it destroys, the seals on it. You got to replace the seals too. I'm trying to think. I think this is all, we have a toilet scrubber we use, that we use multiple times during the day or when we go to the bathroom, that kind of thing. As we use it, we use that, and that keeps it pretty clean. But other than that, I think I'll ask Marissa when she gets back, but I'd say the Thieves stuff is probably the main thing, or the only thing that she uses, I'd say, on it. I don't think we've had major issues with it. And it may also have, like you're saying, some of the water source may have a lot to do with the toilet stains. I know we got our scrubber we use, and then is that
this? I spray the toilet down with this and use the toilet
it seems
scrubber.
to do pretty well scrubbing it off. Okay. Yeah.
That's all we use.
I like it. Again, we love stuff that does multiple things. Like almost everything we're showing, like it does multiple things, and we've gone through other stuff. I guess Instant Pot. I know most you guys have probably heard of the Instant Pot. What can you share? Maybe you can just share like maybe something new or something you've learned that maybe we haven't shared before on the Instant Pot. You think of?
Something new. Like, what do you mean?
I don't know. Maybe something you didn't know when we first got it, but now we've kind of learned that's cool to cook with it, or something that we do that we didn't.
I just like all-in-one is what I like, and I'm not an elaborate cook. So usually if I know we're going to be boondocking, I try to just cook a bunch of stuff in the Instant Pot and save it up and put it in the fridge, and that way we're not having to use it a lot once we're boondocking and stuff. But I'm still learning. I'm still learning with the Instant Pot. But... Okay.
It's like...
She's used to having our full attention 24/7, so an hour is killing her.
I'm trying to think on the solar stuff, Trent, Siobhan. course, talked about the panels and the batteries. I'm also going to be installing a battery monitor. I don't like the one that I use for the Renogy thing. It's not accurate with the batteries. The problem with a lot of your battery monitors is now you can accurately check the battery level with just a multimeter if you want to, but you've got to shut everything off in the RV for like over an hour and let it sort of settle down, which sort of like the hot water deal. It's not a good idea for our family for me just to shut power off for long periods of time usually. Because it seems like something's always being used. And so a lot of your battery monitors have a hard time giving something accurate because as power is coming in from the solar panels, it messes with what it thinks the battery level is actually at. Because that's critical with solar, is to be able to keep track of your battery level. If it starts getting too low, you start to damage the batteries and then they get toast. That's usually what ends up happening with them. All right, let's see. What next? This could probably be a whole video. This will be the last thing. I'll just touch on this real quick because I wanted to touch on this. When it comes to internet is a huge deal when you're on the road. And I know we've been like scratching and rubbing our faces. It's these bugs. We don't have like some sort of weird thing going on. With internet, we don't mess with the Wi-Fi booster because the Wi-Fi is usually terrible in the parks. But we try to boost the cell signal is what we go for. So we have a hotspot that we use from Verizon that we bought, and we have a grandfathered Verizon plan that we bought as well with unlimited internet. Now Verizon talks about unlimited internet that they sell now, but it's really not unlimited. Once you reach a certain point, they bump you down on the priority list, and probably your internet speed is going to go down. But there are some old grandfathered ones. I think if you have a business, you might still be able to transfer it to yourself and do that with an unlimited plan. But regardless, if you have a hotspot with internet or something like that, we also have a WeBoost. We have a trucker antenna. It comes with an antenna that's like this tall. It's terrible. It does next to nothing. We bought the trucker antenna, and that actually helps. That gives us an extra bar or two with our service with the trucker antenna. When that runs down through our Airstream to the WeBoost, and then that boosts everything inside. So when we connect to the internet, we're connecting to that hotspot that can connect up to 10 devices that we have. So that's kind of like our router or whatever in the RV. And that is like, I don't have many backups of anything. Like Marissa knows me, I keep one of almost everything to save room. And because I try to buy something that's really high quality and just have one without.
He got rid of our floss water. I
was asking where
the floss water was yesterday.
You called me out on that.
You did. He got rid of our floss water. He's like, use a piece of paper. If you need me to drive, I'll go get it. I'm like. So,
I have this theory, and the Minimalists talked about it in their blog. We did not use that floss water for like 6 months, and maybe it's just the weather we're in or whatever. But they talk about if you can go buy it within 20 minutes and it's less than $20, don't hold on to it. And so I was like, okay, cool. We don't use the floss water. I can get one within 20 minutes. It's definitely less than $20. Not a big deal. So I got rid of it, and now I'm hearing it. So, so I'm gonna have to go buy some floss water and keep it around. But yeah, we tried to. I keep a spare hotspot around. I don't keep spare much of anything, but internet is so critical to what we do. Like we couldn't be doing this right now without our hotspot, and so it's critical to have that. Solar, maybe a solar video. I wish we could get like a solar expert or something and get them on here with us or something like that. Would be pretty cool. Do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd really like to be able to get more information because I'm not a solar expert at all. I learned a little bit helping with the install last time. Christopher said, "What resources did you consult when putting together your solar package?" Gone with the Winds have some really good stuff when you're starting off. As far as like, one of the main things to understand is a different kind of. I'm not going to get too much into solar, but you want to understand the difference in the batteries. Between the wet cells and the AGMs, and now people have started to use more and more of lithium. They're starting to use more lithium, and you just got to decide for yourself: is it worth it to pay more for these different kinds of batteries for your current setup? Because lithium's pretty expensive, but lithium is the best as far as how much you can drain it down, how long it lasts, everything else. So, not to get into too much, but I know Gone with the Winds was one of the resources I looked at. I just looked at a lot of, I think Love Your RV, I think was one of the ones. He's got some videos, and he's got some blog stuff too that's pretty good. His stuff, I like his stuff because he's a very down-to-earth, I'm going to get my hands dirty and do it myself and figure it out kind of guy. And so I know some of the stuff we got from him was from him. And I also consulted the guy that did our install for us. in Florida, I went back and forth with him quite a bit on what we wanted to do before we got down there, and then had the parts shipped there. So they were sitting there waiting for us. I think for a solar install, I think a good option, you can just hire a company, pay them, and walk away, and they will just do everything for you, and you come back and it's done. I think you can do it that way. That's probably the most expensive option to do as well. But to me, I wanted to at least kind of know what was going on, and so I didn't want to do that option. But at the same time, I wasn't comfortable like doing every single thing myself. Just using YouTube videos was kind of scary to me. So I went a middle route of finding an individual, and you can look around. There are these individuals that are a one-man show in different places that will do the install with you. And that way you can kind of learn what's going on. So if something goes out or something goes wrong, you can figure out, hey, is it my battery that's bad? Is it my inverter that's bad? Is it my solar, something wrong with the solar panels? You can learn how to diagnose those kind of things. And so that's the route we went, was kind of that middle route where it's, not just to save money, because the cheapest way to save money is just do it all yourself. But that's what we chose. But kind of went a little longer than the 45 minutes. But you guys got, and then Trent too, I know Trent was asking about, and then Mark too, I want to say, Mark, I saw that. I hate we're going to miss you for a month. He's been great interacting with us. So hopefully we'll have him back soon. But have you guys got, this is a shotgun question round or whatever you want to call it, I guess. You guys got any shotgun questions you want to share or ask? Or if you got more in-depth solar stuff, I might know it. I doubt it, but I can try. You got any random questions you can think about that we've had that we're getting a lot?
I don't know. We had other stuff on our list too. There's things that we've talked about that we might like, but we can't personally say that we'd love them. We've talked about.
You got to go to the bathroom again?
Okay.
All right.
But we've talked about, a fire pit, one of those propane fire pits we'd really like.
And Trent Siobhan are on here, and they can vouch for that. Like, it's one of the cool community's a big deal with RVing, and so what we're talking about with the propane, propane fire pit, you can get. The problem, we haven't got one. I've been looking for one that can fold up so I can fit it under the back of the Airstream because we're tight on space. So I'm hoping to get one of those fire pits. That way, if you're somewhere and there's people around, you can gather around the propane fire pit and not have to have firewood. Because some places you can't. You can't have fire. You can't gather firewood, or maybe there's not somewhere close by to get firewood. There's lots of reasons that a fire pit could come in handy. And then she looked into, what was that other, the water filtration?
A Berkey. A lot of people, we've met a lot of full-timers because we buy tons and tons of water, especially when we're boondocking. We need that extra water. So they have the Berkey filtration systems, which if we had somewhere to put it,
it's pretty big.
Yeah,
right? Like
it's large.
Yeah.
I mean, but a lot of full-time families have them and love them and would, give you clean water wherever you were. But we just don't have anywhere to put it right now. But that's something that a lot of people love. I don't know why she keeps saying that.
Hey, Hensley, she want to come over here? Hensley, you want to come over here for a minute?
You want to be on the video?
You want to be on the video? We had on the list too, not necessarily a gadget, but apps, some different apps. We talked about some of those before too. Say, girl, you want to see yourself? It takes 10 seconds, but you'll see yourself right up here. We're good. Oh, I guess as far as apps, let's see, 20-pound connection regulator from outdoor propane stove. Yes. That's something I need to figure out how to do. Is to
showing them your dirty feet.
Not just for our propane fire pit, we hopefully get one at some point, but also our generator. I would love to have propane come directly from where the propane tank already is, because I've just got this really short propane regulator that goes to my generator, so I have to take the propane tank out, sit it next to my generator, but I'd much rather be able to rig up something that runs a longer line. And the fire pit too, obviously we don't want a fire pit that's 3 feet away to do that, but let's see. I guess apps, we've talked about apps a lot, but one app that we've started using that's been helpful if you, dirty feet.
Yeah, she's been playing in the sand.
Yes.
It's like living in a sand pit, though. She loves it.
It's very helpful here. I don't honk, we have the space. I like that. One app we started using is called Wikicamps, Wikicamps, and it's of course it's a crowdsourcing kind of thing where people are putting down what they paid and what they found. But I've noticed it has a lot of like off the grid type places, like boondocking places, BLM places that Allstays does not have, and so especially when you're out west, like in Utah and places like that, it's come in handy. There's been a couple of times that we've used that app, and it's helped us find some places that maybe didn't show up on Allstate. So I did want to mention that app. I haven't mentioned that on the YouTube channel yet because I'm still trying it out, but I've seen enough of it to know that it has some things. I still like Allstate's better because I think it's organized way better in the filtering options, and it has some features that Wikicamps doesn't have. So unfortunately, I can't say there's like one app you want to get that'll do everything you want, but it does help if you're looking for places that are off the grid a little bit. Any other questions? We got. Trying to think of what we got coming up.
Yeah, we're actually going to start heading back to Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our videos are what happens is we film like crazy while we're out running around, and I don't have time to get it edited because we're going somewhere new every single day, and so my editing falls behind, and so we're 2 or 3 weeks behind on our videos, and so we're going to be heading back to Tennessee in like 3 or 4 days, I guess, but it may not show that on our videos for 2 or 3 weeks, and then so we'll be in Tennessee, and then from Tennessee we're going to Montana and Wyoming is the goal, which geographically I know that's probably what you're thinking is makes no sense whatsoever. So we're going all the way back to Tennessee, then coming all the way back, almost right back to where we were.
Just to go to the state right
Yeah, so it's a wedding. We debated flying, but we want our house. I want my house at least. A couple of questions. Tips for keeping cool. Yes.
The awnings.
Yes. Awnings. And when we get to this Moab site, I'll show a lot of our Airstream awnings, how much there was an awning package option for our Airstream that when I was looking for it, I thought, you know what, it's a tin can. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have those awnings block that sunlight before it gets to the windows, because that's kind of the key. And that's why a tree is awesome too. You look for trees. So when you're parking, you look for shade from trees if you can first. If not, you hopefully try to have some sort of awning package. And then you've also got the, we've never used it, but I know some people have the silver foam, the Reflectix type stuff they'll put up. In their windows to block the heat before it comes in and stuff. But we haven't had to do too much of that. With our awning package, the awnings are over every single window in our RV. And so that is a big deal for keeping things cool. And it hasn't been bad. It's gotten in the lower 90s here, and it's bearable inside as long as you got a slight breeze and stuff. And then we've got two fans. Our fans are always going as well on the ceiling, and they're cycling that air in and out of the Airstream over time.
Fantastic fans are very.
They are fantastic. They cycle a whole lot of air.
We love our fantastic fans.
Yeah. The Airstreams use the Zip D awnings. They're very sturdy and they work really well. Any other keeping cool tips other than following the weather?
Yeah, you just got to follow. And sometimes, you know what? If it's been the heat of the day, seriously, we just try to be somewhere other than the RV.
Mm-hmm.
If it's
we'll leave in the middle of the day.
That's kind of just the hottest part of the day. That's kind of what we do.
I would strongly, if you can, try to avoid the southeast in the peak of summer. It's a totally different animal with the heat. Like, the lower 90s here versus lower 90s in the southeast. Like, that humidity, it doesn't matter if you have the awnings. It's not the sunlight that's killing you, it's the humidity. So even if you have the awnings or the trees or whatever, you're still dripping sweat like crazy because of humidity.
She just took my cleaner. She's going to go in there and she's going to spray the whole RV down.
She's going to clean it down?
Yeah.
Okay. She's going to surprise us, I'm sure. We'll be surprised. It'll be a good surprise or not.
She just snuck that out, that bottle.
All right. Trent wonders what kind of, I really hope it's not Trent asking the question because that's the third person. That's really weird. Just kidding, Trent. External hard drive used for file storage for the blog. Let me grab it and I'll be right back. Was there one other question on there? Oh, best app for clearance on the camper motorhome. I'll be right back on that one too.
Well, Allstays actually does a good job with the clearances. I know we use that quite a bit. When we had our motorhome, it was more of a bigger deal than it is now. But Allstays. What else do you use?
Other than that, an RV GPS probably.
Yeah.
I think there are some apps. There might be some trucker apps that have some stuff. We If we kept the motorhome and we went east again, I was going to buy an RV GPS. I told Marissa that was a mistake. I mean, we could have gotten the top of that thing clipped off out in the east. It's pretty bad. So if you're going especially northeast where it's older and you got these older low bridges and stuff, I think the RV GPS is really good. And you know, Utah, Colorado, I've rarely ever seen anything. If you do, you like kind of know it's coming, and I don't think it's as big of a deal. But Allstays is starting to get more and more of those low clearance things on their app. And they've also got grades, so that's really awesome too. Mm-hmm. Most all the interstates and a lot of the highways, they'll tell you if there's an 8% grade coming up on Allstays. And that's why I like it. It's just got, it doesn't cover everything, but it does a pretty good job with most things. And then we use some other stuff to fill in the gaps. Trent was asking, I use this Seagate, it says model number SRD00F1. I cannot remember exactly, but it's their 4 terabyte. I got this one. It's a portable drive, so all I have to do to plug it in is this USB port, and it powers this drive. I'm sure this is actually like 2 small laptop drives is what it is, but it's 4 terabytes of storage, which when I got it, I thought I will never fill that up. This is my 3rd one. And I've got another one that's 2 terabytes that I filled up before I started buying these. So these are about around $100, 110, something like that, I think, dollars. And I have to buy one about since I've started filming in 4K, I'll probably have to buy one every 2 months, probably 3 months, maybe. Wow. They were lasting me 3 to 6 months, but 4K just takes up more storage. And I won't get too much into the 4K thing. We're not uploading in 4K yet, but I've been filming in 4K. There's a lot of benefits of filming in 4K as far as clarity and sharp image and being able to zoom in, post, and all that stuff. But yeah. Video takes a lot of data, and so I've got almost at least 10 terabytes of video because I keep all the video. Carl's asking if it's flash. I don't think, because I can hear it spinning up, so I'm pretty sure it's anytime you hear it spinning up like that and you can actually feel it moving, I'm pretty sure it's either one honking hard drive that they developed or it's 2 really small hard drives. I'm not sure, but if it's flash too, it'd be awesome because that'd be faster and that'd be more stable. I do have a flash one. I can't pull it out and show it. This might be a tip too, I guess. If you've got, I like to do everything on my laptop. I can't show it because that's what everything's on. But Apple thinks they're the smartest in everything. So they've over time they've removed, the microphone input. They removed the optical drive, so you don't have a DVD drive or CD drive anymore. And then they've also made their hard drives are permanent now, pretty much. You can upgrade them. There are some kits, but there was so much red tape, and I was afraid something would mess up. Like back in the day, you could just swap out a hard drive and put in another one. So I actually had to buy a flash drive that's sitting on the back of my laptop. If somebody really wants to know about this, you can email me or something. I'll give you a picture of it. But because I started running out of space, the 4K videos are so big that I ran out of space super fast on my laptop because it's only 500 gigabytes, which sounds like a lot, but when you're editing video, it wasn't enough. And so I've actually got a small flash. Carl was mentioning a flash drive. I've got a small flash drive on the back of my laptop, and it's connected through USB. That's a lot of technical geek stuff, I know. But Marissa's like, she's like, yeah, whatever. But yeah. But love the gadget talk. I don't know. We'll have a vote next month. Actually, next month we're going to be talking about downsizing.
Would it be the end of this month?
Be the end of this month. We're going to talk about downsizing.
Because this is actually the May. The month of May chat because of the holiday. So.
Yes, it was an insanely hard time finding good internet connection too. But yeah, hopefully at the end of this month we'll be doing some downsizing stuff and talking about that. We want to have sort of a theme with that with the channel too, maybe for a week or two. We'll see if that works out or not. But appreciate everybody coming in.
Yeah.
I've hopefully gotten a little better. Last time I tested doing this, I had my shirt off and. Apparently I went live accidentally and and not only does it go live, it posted on our main channel and said, hey, Let's Junk More Journeys live, and so it had like hundreds of hits, but no thumbs downs. I didn't see any. I don't know, but yeah, I did not. But appreciate it, Troy. Hensley, she is squirting at thieves everywhere. Hey, come over here and show them your thieves. Show them how you've been cleaning.
Come here. Oh, she's cleaning her toys with my things. Apparently, it cleans toys.
It cleans everything, yes. But, Hensley, you want to say bye real quick? We're going to say bye. Come here. So quit squirting the toys. You've been really good. Oh, for an hour. Yes. Yes.
Don't.
Yes. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap up. Yes, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Troy. We appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hensley will give her advice next time maybe as well on downsizing.
A spraying toy.
We're
And
gonna spray
spraying
spraying toys. But, all right. We're going to call it, I guess. You got anything else you want to add?
No,
on?
thank you guys
All right,
for
appreciate it.
joining us.
Thank you.
Hope it was helpful.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.